Hi everyone, I am excited to bring you my review from our most recent visit to Cinderella's Royal Table at Magic Kingdom Park in Walt Disney World. On our most recent trip as a family, we decided to get a dinner reservation there for a few different reasons, and we ended up having one of the best dining experiences that we've probably ever had in the parks. So I'm excited to bring you through all the things that we ate, what it was like for us, what to expect when you book it, and help you decide whether or not this is the right splurge for you and for your loved ones when you visit Magic Kingdom next time. We decided to book Cinderella's Royal Table for dinner on our last night when we were at Disney World on our most recent visit during the holidays, a little before the holidays actually, in December of 2024. And really glad that we did this. My daughter actually had a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique appointment earlier in the day. It was kind of like a late morning appointment. She was all dressed up in her princess outfit. Her princess, favorite princess this time is Jasmine. It changes pretty much every time we've been to Disney World, and this time it was all about Jasmine the whole trip. But we knew that we wanted to have a nice sit-down meal somewhere since she was all dressed up. And also, we don't like spending time in lines for characters very often when we're at Magic Kingdom or when we're in the parks, because we'd rather ride the rides and see some of the experiences and some of the live entertainment that's going on. And so doing a character dining meal is a great way for my kids to be able to meet all their characters, get some quality time interactions with them, and also for us as parents to sit down and like take a breather and kind of relax for a little bit. So this time we picked Cinderella's Royal Table. We decided to do an early dinner. So we picked about a 4:30 dinner time, which worked out great. Being that it was the winter, fireworks were a little earlier, so it gave us plenty of time to have our dinner, not feel rushed, actually get a couple rides in before then seeing the fireworks at the end of the night. And it was a great time to go. It was like the time of the day where we needed a little bit of a decompression for the kids. At this trip, my son was 4, my daughter 7. So it was like that age where they need to have a little bit of like a break from all of the stimulus that they have the whole time in the park. So we get to Cinderella's Royal Table, and when you walk in, obviously it's inside the castle. So you're walking up behind the back of the castle. You're seeing all of those beautiful displays that are kind of inside the castle there. And you walk up, you give them your information. You can check in on your My Disney Experience app about 20 minutes prior to your meal. I definitely recommend doing that. Why not? Let them know that you're coming. And as soon as they're ready for you to come in, they will invite you right inside. And as you walk in, it is just the most beautiful space. It definitely feels like you're in a castle. There's coats of armor. There's armor standing up. My son loved the armor, the knights as he kept calling them. And as you walk in, you'll see that Cinderella is greeting her guests right there in kind of this lobby atrium area of the castle. And so you kind of walk through and you get some really great time with her. She was telling us all about where to find Jack and Gus, and you can see them in the castle as well. And we got some great photos. There is a photo pass photographer there, so you can get the whole family in the shot. So you can tell that it really sets off the right tone, the right mood, and she is welcoming you to her castle for your meal. They will then give you a paper and let you know that they'll announce your family name very royally, very regally, and you'll walk up this nice winding staircase up to the top where you will be able to be seated for your dinner. There is also a elevator, so if you have mobility issues or you've already walked too many steps, take the elevator up. It's really easy. It's right in front of you. You can't miss it. So as you walk up, I always take pictures because there's beautiful stained glass. And it just feels really magical. So there's pictures of the kids walking up the stairs. And as we get to the top, you'll just see this beautiful large room. And the nice thing with Cinderella's Royal Table is there's some really great seating for large groups. So if you're a family and you're maybe a multi-generational family going and you've got 7, 8, 9, 10 people in your group, you can actually get some pretty large tables and all sit together, which is kind of a hard thing to do sometimes at Disney World. A lot of times you're gonna have 2 different reservations and try to get seated close together. But here, there are some really nice longer tables that everyone can fit in at the same time. So as you sit down, you'll get your menu. This is one of those sit-down restaurants in Magic Kingdom where you can have a cocktail as an adult if you choose to. It's time to just relax. Now, you'll start to have the princesses come around, and they do a really great job of rotations throughout the whole entire restaurant and getting time to make sure that every table gets every princess who's there. So on our trip, there were a few princesses scheduled and there, and every day it may change. So if you have your heart set and you're determined, like we have to go, we have to meet Ariel, just know that she may not be there that day. They do rotate the princess friends out, just depending on who is visiting Cinderella at her castle at that time. So for us on our stay, we were able to meet Aurora, we were able to meet Ariel, Jasmine, of course, that was a big hit for my daughter, and also Merida, who we'd never met before. So it was really exciting to kind of interact with them and talk with them. And they really do a great job of chatting with the kiddos, taking pictures, telling stories about their stories and about their lives. And It's really just a fun way to get that quality character interaction without having to wait in those lines in a lot of different places in the park. So we were really just enjoying them coming around to the table while we were ordering, while we were eating, and it keeps the kids really entertained. There's also a nice coloring page with some crayons that they give the kids at the table. So everything they're doing is making it easy for the kids to enjoy themselves and easy for the adults to enjoy themselves as well. So as you look at the menu, you can tell the pricing is high. Now, Cinderella's Royal Table is one of those reservations you want to book 60 days in advance. As soon as your dining window opens up, you're gonna have a better chance if you're staying on property, for example, to book this toward the end of your trip. That's what we did. It was easier for us to get Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. It was easier for us to get the dining reservation for Cinderella's Royal Table, and it worked out great. So book early, get on top of it. It does go really quickly and for good reason. Now you can see that there's also some prices here, adults, kids, and then you get to kind of pick from the menu whatever you'd like while you're there. They will charge your card the entire amount, and they'll hold that at the beginning when you make your reservation. And that's really to deter people from hoarding reservations or booking, multiple Cinderella Royal tables throughout their stay and blocking it from other people being able to have it. So you are able to cancel your reservation up to 2 hours before. You will get that money back. It's not a problem, but it is a way to just deter people from kind of hoarding and collecting a ton of reservations and blocking other people from having the opportunity to book this restaurant experience. All right, let's get into what we ate and how it went down. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about Cinderella's Royal Table, especially over the last few years. It's like, it's too overpriced. It's not great food. The steak's not the best. I don't know. We had a great meal. Everything we ate was wonderful. You'll see you can start with an appetizer of sorts. There's the chilled shrimp. And my husband had a salad as well. So there's a lot of different things you can choose from. And then the main course. What I loved for the kids menu is that there's a lot of different options. You can get the chicken tenders, you can get the things you like, but my daughter really wanted the mac and cheese, and my son, my 4-year-old son, wanted the steak, and he got the steak, and it was a great portion for them. They both had enough to eat. There was a little bit left over. It was just a good amount of food for the kids and healthier options, compared to what we'd been eating in the parks for days and some of the quick service things that we had. Now, I had the catch of the day. So I had crab meat on top, delicious meal. The flavors were great. It came out warm, perfectly prepared, really enjoyed it. My husband had the steak. He had a great meal as well. He just said it was really well cooked. They came out immediately and asked, is this cooked to your liking? Is there anything that we can do? So they're really on top of that quality piece of the meal. So if you are concerned about the quality of your food, you can share that with the cast members. Obviously be kind, but honestly, everything we had was cooked to perfection, was beautifully displayed. We just had a great time. One of the things that stood out to me from a service standpoint that I really kind of couldn't get over is as the food came out and the kids' plates were set down, our server, who was absolutely incredible, our cast member that we had, he actually just proactively kind of squatted down next to my son and started cutting his steak for him. We didn't ask him to do that. We were prepared to cut our kids' food, but it was just something that he did organically out of the blue. And it was one of those moments where my husband and I looked at each other and we were like, wow, they really want us to be able to enjoy the experience and relax too. Never have we ever been anywhere where someone has just proactively gone ahead and cut our kids' food for them so that we wouldn't have to and we could sit and enjoy. So that was just a special little moment that probably seems like nothing to a lot of people, but as busy parents, that was the best thing that we'd seen in a restaurant probably ever. So special thank you to the cast members. You really are the magic, and we felt it during our meal that we were having there too. The other thing that was just special is everyone that comes around, they're making sure that you've seen every princess, that there's no one that you're missing. They're not gonna hold you up. They're not gonna try to make you sit too long and wait for the next princess to come around. The music changes, the announcements come out, the princesses move through the space, and we never had to wait. I've been at other character meals where we've kind of seen 4 out of maybe the 5, and next thing you know, we're waiting and we're done eating and we're kind of ready to move on. And we're still waiting for that last character. That did not happen here. They were really on top of making sure they were moving and seeing every table as tables were finishing up their meals. The desserts were also really good. I had the cheesecake, which if you look at the picture, was adorable. It was the Jack and Gus cheesecake. It looked like cheese. It was delicious cheesecake. The clock strikes 12 is another great, dessert option. And the kids are able to kind of choose their own. My kids loved the sword in the sweet, which was kind of a sword in the stone looking dessert. You can see the picture. Looks kind of crazy. My kids loved the theme of it. They loved the idea of this little sword being in this rock and then they could eat it and it was chocolatey and delicious. And so again, all food, really enjoyed. As you wrap up your experience there, you just walk back down. They give everyone a wand or a little sword. Even my husband and I got a wand and a sword, which was really cute. And you get to take those with you, and it's part of your experience as you leave the restaurant. So for us, this was a great meal. I don't know that we would do it every trip that we had. It really is a special kind of occasion dining experience for us, but we've had breakfast there in the past and loved our breakfast as well. So I think from a food standpoint, we're just fans. And the breakfast can be a really great thing. You can get like an 8 a.m. or an 8:05 a.m. dining reservation, which is super early. You can actually get into the park before it opens. With that dining reservation, you can show that on your app and get some amazing castle pictures with very low crowds as you walk back in the morning. So don't discredit Cinderella's Royal Table, whether it's for breakfast, dinner, whatever you want to do. It's a great place to go. And again, the character interactions really make it. It's the experience of being in the castle. And so I think if you haven't done it, definitely give it a try. And I'd love to hear what you think. If you've been there for any meal, what were your thoughts? What was your favorite dish? What was something that you liked or maybe even didn't like about it? Let's just keep the conversation going in the comments, and make sure you like and subscribe and follow along for more tips, reviews, and all things Disney. Thanks so much.